People who love staying at home are often misunderstood. They're called lazy, boring, antisocial. But psychology says something very different. What if I told you? Staying at home is not a weakness. It's actually a sign of mental depth. In this video, you'll discover the hidden psychology of people who prefer home over crowds. And by the end, you might realize this video is actually about you. You cancel plans at the last moment. You feel relief when plans get canceled. You enjoy silence more than noise. If this sounds familiar, psychology has a name and a reason for it. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who love staying at home. This is not about being shy. This is not about social anxiety. This is about how certain minds work differently, emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. Let's begin. People who love staying at home are often misunderstood. Most people think they are lazy, antisocial, or wasting their life. But psychology tells a very different story. They're responding to it in a deeper way. One of the biggest psychological reasons people enjoy staying at home is how their brain processes stimulation. The outside world is loud. Crowded places, constant talking, traffic noise, social pressure. All of this overstimulates the brain. Some brains need high stimulation to feel alive. People who love staying at home usually have high sensory sensitivity. Their mind works deeply, not quickly. So when there is too much noise, their brain gets tired faster. Home gives them something the world cannot: mental rest. At home, their thoughts slow down. They finally feel like themselves again. That's self-awareness. Another important reason is how these people think. They don't enjoy meaningless conversations, memories, emotions, ideas, possibilities. Because of this, being around too many people becomes distracting. Home gives them space to think clearly. They analyze what people said, how they felt, and why it mattered. This deep thinking makes them appear quiet on the outside. Silence is not empty for them. People who enjoy staying at home also tend to have high emotional intelligence. They feel emotions deeply, their own and others. Crowded social environments expose them to too many emotional signals at once. That becomes emotionally draining. Home. Emotions settle. They can process what they felt during the day. This is why these people often give the best advice. They don't react emotionally. They respond thoughtfully. But when they do, it usually matters. Another key psychological factor is control. The outside world demands too much. For people who love staying home, this constant pressure is exhausting. Home represents control. You control the noise. You control the people. You control the pace of life. This sense of control makes them feel safe. Not because they are scared of people, but because they value peace over performance. They don't want to constantly wear a social mask. Many people confuse loving home with loneliness. But these are not the same thing. People who love staying home are not lonely. They are selective. They don't want many shallow connections. They want a few meaningful ones. They would rather talk deeply with one person than laugh loudly with 10 people they don't connect with. Quality matters more than quantity. This selectiveness protects their emotional energy. That's why they don't waste time on forced friendships or fake socializing. Creativity is another major reason. People who love staying home often have a rich inner world. Ideas grow in silence. Creativity needs space. When the world becomes quiet, their imagination becomes loud. They think about life, meaning, future, and purpose. That's why writers, thinkers, and creators often prefer solitude. Home allows their mind to wander freely without interruption. These people also understand something most don't. Being busy is not the same as being fulfilled. They don't chase noise to feel important. They don't seek validation through constant presence. They are comfortable being alone with their thoughts. That ability itself shows mental strength. Most people are afraid of silence. They are afraid of facing themselves. People who love staying at home have already done that. Another deep psychological trait is self-regulation. They know their limits. They know when their energy is low. They know when they need rest. Instead of forcing themselves to socialize, they listen to their inner signals. This makes them emotionally stable in the long run. They don't burn out easily because they recharge correctly. But society doesn't understand this. The world rewards loudness, not depth. So people who enjoy staying home often feel misunderstood. They start doubting themselves. They wonder if something is wrong with them. But psychology says otherwise. They are not broken. They are simply wired differently. People who love staying at home value peace over approval. They choose comfort over chaos, meaning over noise. They don't disappear from life. They experience it internally. And that makes them rare. If you relate to this, remember one thing. You don't need to explain your quiet nature to anyone. You don't need to change to fit the noise. Your way of living is not wrong. It's intentional. Most people don't understand you. They think you stay at home because you're scared of the world, because you can't fit in, because something is missing inside you. But the truth is, you stay home because you've seen enough. You've seen fake smiles. You've felt empty conversations. You've noticed how loud the world becomes when it has nothing meaningful to say. So you chose silence. Not because you are weak, but because you are aware. You learned something most people never do. You learned that peace is not found outside. It is protected from inside. While others keep running from place to place, from noise to noise, from people to people, you stopped. And in that stillness, you met yourself. You discovered your thoughts have weight. Your emotions have depth. Your presence doesn't need an audience. You realized something powerful. You don't need to be seen everywhere to matter. Sometimes you sit alone, and the world calls it loneliness. But you know the difference. Loneliness hurts. Solitude heals. Loneliness feels empty. Solitude feels honest. And you chose honesty. You don't hate people. You just hate pretending. You don't avoid conversations. You avoid meaningless ones. You don't stay home because life is small. You stay home because your inner world is big enough. And yes, sometimes you do feel misunderstood. Sometimes you wonder why being quiet makes people uncomfortable. But maybe that's the truth. Your silence forces others to hear their own noise. You are not invisible. You are selective. You are not antisocial. You are intentional. You are not behind in life. You are walking your own pace. One day, the world will feel too loud for many people. And when that happens, it will look for what you already found, a place of calm, a place of clarity, a place called home. So if you love staying at home, if silence feels safe, if peace matters more than popularity, never apologize for it. Some people are born to shine in crowds. Others are born to see clearly in quiet. And the world needs both. But the ones who understand silence, they understand life deeper. Long pause, soft music fade. You were never hiding from the world. You were listening to yourself. And that is a rare kind of strength.